Thank you Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Hi, my name is Caro. Welcome to my plant studio tour. Right now we have around 50 plants. We moved out of Brooklyn 2 weeks ago and we left maybe like other 40 plants back there. We are actually giving away all of our plants today and tomorrow as we are embarking on a new journey that I am so excited to tell you about pretty soon. I've been a little sad to let all of my plant babies go. They really mean the world to me. They are my main source of meditation and just joy. They are going to houses where they are going to be pretty loved, and I'm happy to just let go and start fresh when we find a new place to live. So come check out our current plant collection and I hope you enjoy it. So I will start with Raquel. Raquel is our oldest plant. We got her 5 years ago when we used to live in an apartment with no windows. So that summer she did blossom, but after that we've never seen her blossom again. And at first we would give our plants names, and since our collection started growing, we stopped. So this is Raquel and she's a peace lily. I don't know this friend's name either, but we got her 3 months ago. She was very tiny and now she's grown so fast. I believe this is some sort of philodendron, also pretty low maintenance, and 3 months ago it was still summertime and the leaves would have a shade of pink to them, which I really loved. This one is a Chinese evergreen, and this was a gift from a friend who was moving out of the city, and that's one of the things that I loved about living in New York City. A lot of people are moving in and out all the time, so if someone knows you are a plant lover, they will always reach out to give you all their plants, which is what we are doing now. We're giving away all of our plants to friends that are plant lovers as well. She is also one of my oldest plant friends, and one of the main reasons why I love this plant is because I bought her when she was literally just 4 leaves in a very tiny pot, and I just decided to try and see what would happen if I placed her in a bigger pot with new soil, and then she became this wonderful big and frondos. Big plant. You might have noticed that I have a thing for pink and purple, but I mean, come on, look at these leaves. They are all different. They have this amazing fuchsia color in the back of the leaf and this very like pale pink on the top. I also love seeing them when they are just like unraveling themselves. Look at this beautiful, delicate leaf. She is wonderful from every angle. She's one of my favorite friends. Okay, I had to go with the Instagram trend and got myself a Monstera Deliciosa, and she is growing wild. As you can see, roots come from the stems, so the idea is that whenever you get a root as big as this one growing out of the soil, it's time for you to repot this one. This is a wonderful, very big, sturdy pot, but a bigger one is up for grabs. And what I love about monsteras is that some of them have these beautiful heart-shaped leaves, and others have these leaves that come with holes, which makes it pretty special too. Then this one down here is some sort of outdoor philodendron. Look at how big these stems are. This is insane. Back in Brooklyn, we used to have her hanging from the ceiling, and this one, I actually went to a yoga class like 2 or 3 years ago. Coming back, it was fall time, so all the summer plants were in sale. This is an outdoor plant actually, and I got her. She was as big as she is right now. Came back home with this big plant and my mat. So before we continue showing you all of our plants, I want to take 30 seconds of your time to thank Squarespace, who is today's video sponsor. Squarespace is the virtual home of my art portfolio, my online shop, and my website and domain. And if you are ready to start putting out there one of your dreams, just use the code Caro Arevalo. We are partnering up to give you 2 weeks trial, and once you love them, you can use the code Caro Arevalo for a 10% discount on your first website or domain. So thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video and making me able to ramble about my plants for so long. Okay, so these two are parlor palms, I believe. These are pet friendly, so you can keep them around your pets. Lila loves them. As you can see, this one is all beaten up, and that's because of Lila. They are very low maintenance, and if you put them in bigger pots, they will grow even bigger. This is a burro's tail. She is a cacti, so you don't need to water her more than once every week or once every 2 weeks. And we've had her for 3 years. And actually she was way longer, but a lot of her arms came out in our recent move. But we've put in those in water. They will grow some roots pretty soon, and we can plant these and propagate them and start a new pot. So that's everything for this section. I always tell Ivo, if this art thing fails, I can just sell plants. This one, I got her in January. What is it right now? November right now. And she grew so fast, and right now it's actually all entangled up, but if we untangle her, she's even longer. And when I got her, she was pretty teeny tiny. I was hosting these painting and plant workshops at my art studio, and these ones stayed with me from the January workshop. And I love how fast she grew. I also love the little like speckles of white that this one has on it. I just love the plants that can really grow these like long stems with a lot of leaves. I feel they are plants with very long hair, and for some reason I like them. Here we have a few of our photos or philodendron. We have a bunch of these ones as well, and we used to have even more. We just gave them away in our last move. And we also gave away all of our outdoor plants. I will just add some videos from that. We grew this amazing garden in Brooklyn, and we just left it for the new renters of the apartment. Here we have another philodendron, and I really love these ones as they grow really long. Usually we keep these high up, hanging from the ceiling, and I love they make this like wonderful curtain, and in that way they are also away from our cats and they don't need it. We have 2 cats, so it's also pretty important for us to just keep at their reach the ones that they can eat. Okay, now lacy tree philodendron. I bought this one as the first plant in my first art studio ever, which was in Bushwick back in 2016. So I've had her for 4 years, and she's wonderful. She usually loses the stems in the bottom, and that's what makes these, I don't know how to call it, but very robust stem in the bottom, and it grows from them. So it actually needs the stems in the bottom to die for it to keep on growing. And if you look pretty closely, you can see how that robust stem has these eye-looking patterns to it. Don't they look like little eyes? She's one of my favorite plants. I'm happy that she's going to a good home. Then we have one of our snake plants. We have a few snake plants. We actually propagated some of them from the first one that we got, but these are wonderful. Ivo has a bunch of allergies, and snake plants really help to purify the air, so it's great to put a bunch around him when we go to bed. Here we have one of our spider plants. We have a few of them, and all of these actually came from propagation. This spider plant was the first one that we ever got, And then we've propagated her in 3 different plants. This is the second one that we've propagated from her. I love how wonderful they are. You see that from just one stem, another whole blossom, to call it something, appears. And then you can also cut this one here, put these in water, it will grow roots, and you can repot that one again, and from this one another baby will come. This one also flowers, these beautiful little white flowers during the summertime. They usually come from these little baby blossoms that appear. We've had a few blossoming earlier this year. Okay, this one is a baby rubber plant. We also have her on a self-draining pot. And these ones, even though this one is pretty tiny, these ones can grow up to my size, depending on how much space you give them for the roots to grow. But I love how this one, yet again, is one of those beautiful plants that is green on the top and purple. Isn't it purple? This one is purple in the bottom. Not every single leaf is purple, but some of them are. So I love just being surprised by which of them are. And as you can see, the leaves are very strong, very thick. So this one is also low maintenance. You don't really need to water her that often. So this one here is an Anturio. I really love this one, especially because she grows in Peru. And one of the main reasons why I have this love for plants is because okay, so I'm not only giving my plants away, I'm also getting my period in a few hours, so this is the worst day to not cry, so just bear with me. I love plants because you know how some families talk to each other and share food. My family shares plants. So so we are always texting each other pictures or videos of the new flower that just blossomed or the new plant that we just got. And I love that my dad, my sister, my mom and I, we all have Anturios, and she usually blossoms in the springtime. This is a spring flower. That's why these babies here are already a little dry. We're almost in winter time. So of course the flowers will die pretty soon, and then it will only be leaves up until next spring when she will blossom again if taken care of. So this is Anturio, and she's also in a self-draining pot. These are the sweetest plants ever. These are called Hoya Heart. They are either succulents or cacti, I'm not sure, but they grow in a heart shape, which is wonderful. And they are very low maintenance, as this is the leaf and it's pretty thick. This is full of water. And aren't these the prettiest gifts from Mama Earth? I love them. They just bring me joy. They're heart-shaped plants. And then we have this beautiful one. I don't remember its name. We've had her for almost 4 years, and from her we propagated this teeny one. And when they are younger, they have this pink tone in the top part, and in the bottom they have this green look. But when they get older, the pink starts fading away and it becomes more of a pale green, which I really like. This one has been with us for a long time and I really like it. Then we have Seurina pendula, or Wandering Jew. We left 2 of these back in Brooklyn. This one grows pretty fast, and just like the philodendron or photos that I was explaining, she grows really fast and makes this beautiful curtain, and it's also pretty easy to propagate. So you can just cut any ends, put it in water for a little while, roots will start to come out, and then you can plant them again. And we've propagated these one a lot, but we ended up leaving a few back in Brooklyn. So if you take a closer look, you can see that it has these nice lines in the front and it's purple in the back. This one, in my experience, is not as easy to take care of because it dries up pretty easily, so you really need to be paying attention to it and seeing what it really needs. Right now she's very happy and watered. We have another one of our snake plants right here. And actually, snake plant in Spanish is called lengua de suegra, which the translation to English would be tongue of your mother-in-law. So if you're looking to start your own indoor garden, I highly suggest the snake plant as a starter plant. She is very easy to take care of. You don't need to water her that often. And it's a great air purifier as well. Okay, I don't know this friend's name, but I have a great story for her. I got this one a year ago. My friend Anita, who was my first friend in the city, was leaving town for good. We know each other back from Peru, and we had a girls' date. One morning we went for breakfast, coffee, and then we went to the plant shop, and I got this one. And actually I got her when she was pretty tiny, and she's grown a lot ever since. And yeah, it's time to get her a new pot. Okay, I know I've said this like 3,000 times, but this one is one of my favorite plants. This is a Pilea peperomioides, or something along those lines. Look at those round, beautiful leaves, and I love how just like chaotic it grows. I don't know, I feel she's like a curly friend that is like very free spirit, and I also love the self-draining pot. This was a gift from the sale. Yeah, this might be my favorite plant. Okay, now one of my favorite ones. These ones are the Calathea rattlesnake. I am obsessed with them. If you see, they have this teeny tiny eye-looking different green on each leaf, and then on the other side they are this beautiful purple, all of them. For me, she's one of the prettiest plants out there, and I've actually made a bunch of workshops where I teach how to paint one of their leaves. Oh, I actually have a YouTube video on that, so you can paint with me a Calathea rattlesnake if you're up for that. She's wonderful, very low maintenance, and the cats are pretty fine around them too. There was actually a fifth one. I love them. This is our third mother-in-law's tongue. And I love these pots because they retain the water. They have lava rocks in the bottom, and that's why they don't need an extra plate. And I have nothing else to say about this one. Oh, let's go with this one. She's one of my favorites and has one of the best plant names out there. Let's take her out because... All right. Okay, so here we have one of our oldest ones. She's 4.5 years since we got her, and her name is Devil's Backbone. Look at how crazy these stems are. A few of them are pretty tall. Ooh. So it grows pretty tall, she's pretty resilient, but I love how the stems just like entangle themselves. And these one actually in springtime, all the little leaves turn into a pinkish color, which gives it a beautiful tone. Okay, this might be my favorite plant ever, and it's not only because of the plant, which is a Haworthia cactus, but look at this planter. It's the best pot in the world. Look at its face. We could just make a video showing this beautiful pot. I love the color, how happy the face is. I usually keep this one in my desk because it just really makes me happy and brings me joy to see this beautiful Haworthia. Haworthia is a cacti, so it's pretty low maintenance. You just need to water it pretty little. And if you look closely, it's already growing little friends to the sides. I also love how it has these like white speckled dots all over, and yeah, like a cacti, each leaf is very thick. It's very thick because inside is just full of water. You don't really need to water it that often. Another spider friend, and this was a propagation. It's crazy how much she's grown, but I know you might be bored by now, so I'll just be very quick with the plants that we have left. We have yet another spider plant, a bird's nest. We have a few others around. These are also pet friendly, and I love how curly they are. And our last but not least friend, she's actually an outdoor plant. It's almost winter here, so all of her leaves are starting to come down. We bring her in for winter time, and she will just start blossoming again in the summer. So thanks again for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to ask any plant questions that you have in the comments. Also, thanks again Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. And I will see you on the next one and let you know when we are ready to start our new indoor plant garden, because this one is going away today. Bye, see you next time.